morning, peoples. Welcome to another interview with Behind the Signatures at Signature Us. My name's Jamie Keeble, founder of Signature Us, and today is a bit different. We've got an interview with two very special people who are part of a charity that is actually close to our hearts. I'd like to welcome both David and Shelly Bathgate from Military vs Cancer.
Thank you.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Really good.
Right.
Really good. Nervous but good.
Great stuff. Well, thank you for allowing us to be here today in your presence at your humble abode. All we're going to do today is have a little chat about yourselves and the charity and what you're all about and why people should support you.
Lovely.
And as you are very much part of our event that we are holding on the 14th of March in Brighton with Joe Kawasaki, where we will be raising funds for the charity, it's very important that we know all about you and what you do.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So the first thing I want to ask you is this. What made you think of the charity?
What made me think of the charity, or what
made you think of making a charity the need, and what is it for?
Right, okay. So, first of all, we lost, correct me if I'm wrong, but it all started with, I was serving on submarines at the time, and a friend of mine was diagnosed with cancer, with very limited time left to live. So we very quickly created an event for him in Wigan. And we raised some money for him. But while we were at that event, we got talking, didn't we? Got talking and thought, well, actually, we could do something here. We could do something a little bit special. And that was probably the start of the idea of Military versus Cancer. Around about the same time, I started losing family members to cancer. So around about in that 2-year period, I lost 6 members of my family. I've lost 8 in total, and another 2 have fought it since. But it all came out as an idea just to raise some money for an individual, and then we thought we can do a little bit better than this, and we can raise some money. And we raised some money for 2 major charities, raised £94,000, I think it was, and split it between the 2 of them.
Fantastic.
And then COVID kicked in.
Yeah.
And then we thought, well, actually, we can do something better now and create a registered charity and take it forward.
I think we'd learnt a lot at that point, and we either walked away with all that knowledge and skills that we'd built, or we took it forward. And the sensible thing was to take it forward and raise money for a charity that we knew where the money would be going.
Yeah.
And we also knew from that very first event that we'd had that military personnel find themselves in very unique circumstances when diagnosed with cancer, without perhaps a lot of support. And it was because of that we wanted to raise the funds directly to go to those personnel.
So it must have been quite hard, personally, for you guys to do this.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, the biggest reason for setting it up is because I've seen firsthand, and not just from friends and family, I've seen firsthand that it literally destroys families. And we just wanted to be that intervention, that difference. And there is no other military charity that specialises in cancer. So we are the only one. So there was the gap there that needed filling. So we have literally just stepped in and done it.
I think it not to go back to the unique circumstances and stress that point, but if you imagine you are in a career whereby your colleagues and peers are your family, and you have a cancer diagnosis, and you are then find yourself not surrounded by those people anymore, because you perhaps you maybe lived on a base, and now you have this diagnosis, you don't have your career anymore, you're not living on that base anymore, that network of people that you had around you, they're just not there anymore. So it is very unique circumstances, and there is very much a need for people in that circumstance to be supported, and we understood that.
Well, I mean, we obviously were part of your golf day at Celtic Manor last year, which was, by the way, was just a privilege for us to be there. And raising money for you was very, very important for us. And I did, obviously, you had people that were there that were talking about their circumstances, and it was upsetting to hear that, obviously, because, when you have got this sort of,
I remember.
It's difficult,
Yeah.
And I remember seeing one guy there that, I think he's on stage 4, and he was playing golf that day, and for me to see that, and it was just a different class of, and obviously him being a pilot and what he did in Afghanistan or wherever it was. But how do people benefit from your charity? How do they benefit as a whole? What do you offer people? How do you help them?
It's whatever that family wants, and Shelly knows more about this than I do. But people come to us people come to us and they don't know what they want. They haven't got a clue what they want or what they need, and they're kind of hoping that we'll guide them as to where they want to be. And the bottom line is, it's what does that family need at that time to get them through. It depends on where their diagnosis is, where their cancer journey is at that time. We've funded people to get married because time wasn't on their side. So it was special to them. They needed something special. We created. Shelly created one of them, start to finish.
Yeah, it's about understanding that journey in a way perhaps they don't, and supporting what they think they need and what they think is important, and also thinking about what is going to become important, and making sure that we can kind of address as many issues as possible. Signposting, financial support. If it's a lady with a diagnosis and she's lost her hair, it's really important for them to have that kind of sense of dignity. So we've covered wigs, the cost of wigs. For those, there's lots of different things that we do.
Yeah, far too many times we get a call from the other family member just saying, look, he or she will not pick up the phone. They just will not ask for help. How do I go about making them ask for help? And then we'll that's all down to the individual, is that, but we will guide them, but we make it really clear they're not ringing up a charity and asking for help. I know that's how it seems, and it seems ridiculous that I'm saying that, but they're not ringing up a charity and asking for help. They're talking to a mate. I might not have served with them, I might not know them, but we've served together. We've been in the military together.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So regardless, like it or not, we're a family member somewhere down the line. So all they're doing is they're picking up a phone and just ranting to a mate on the phone that there's no consequences. Just rant, tell me whatever you're thinking, whatever you're doing, and then develop things from there.
Yeah, because quite often the questions can be around their career, like what the future of their career looks like at that moment in time, because they just don't know. Don't know what to expect, or if they're even going to have the job they've got right now. And that's quite stressful. It's a difficult thing to overcome, isn't it, thinking about things like that. So knowing that they've got someone that they can talk to and be signposted and just supported at that time of need, basically.
And I have to say, even though we know each other, we obviously become friends. I just obviously looking at the fact that the people you've helped, I believe you've not ever turned anyone down. Is that correct?
We've never turned anyone that's eligible to come to us for support. We've guided them through the entire process.
Absolutely amazing. That is just because it's obviously the difference is between yourself and other charities is that they do try and say, oh well, no, but this is different. This is like a more family associated thing.
Yeah, it is.
And for me to see that, there's just no doubt that you have made that extra special effort to say, do you know what? No matter what it is, we're going to help these people.
Yeah. We've even kept the application process really simple. You devised the application process, to keep it so it doesn't put people off. So, get the application filled out, and it is a really simple process. We're not being intrusive. We don't want to know what's in your bank or anything like that. We just want to know that we can help you and how can we help you. And then that opens the doors for conversations later on.
Yeah, how many apps you get from people? Do you get a lot come through every week or monthly?
So this year, I've not taken a full count, but I think we're on about 120 this year.
So far.
Already?
So far, yeah.
Without going into too much detail from the emotional part of it, but what sort of things can people ask for or ask guidance and help for?
I'll take an email that I received this morning. I think that's probably the best one that I can go on. So that family, and again, no names or anything like that, but they wanted contact with a padre so they can have a conversation with him about what's going on. They also want that same padre to carry out the funeral later on, which is sadly going to be inevitable. They want advice on his pension.
Right.
I'd want to know,
Of course.
they've been told certain things that they don't think's right. And they want home help, home adaptations, which Shelly, as a qualified occupational therapist, can give advice on, and ultimately give the charity advice on what we should and shouldn't be doing.
So what could be the sort of things that do come into you for help? I mean, obviously, I'm not too. I'll say how that works for you.
Yeah.
What sort of things can come in? Like you said, help people get married and homes and.
Yeah, some people just want a memory making holiday. We've had short breaks. Again, wigs. Travel costs to and from hospital. You wouldn't think that was a thing, but to travel to and from hospital for chemotherapy as many times as you need to go, pay for your parking when you get there.
Yeah.
That's a big cost. Sometimes partners need to stay in a hotel local to the hospital because it's not on their doorstep. We've covered costs for family to stay local to the person.
It's not always about the individual, is it?
Because they can't look after themselves at that time, and family can't afford to just go and stay in a hotel for however many nights to support their family member with cancer. There's just so many different things that you wouldn't even imagine.
Yeah, even down to getting phone calls from individuals saying, look, I need a breakaway, and the reason why I need a breakaway is because I think I've made my decision to stop my treatment, and I need a week away from all my family so that I can decide whether that's the right avenue for me. And they're the tough ones.
No, of course. And after, I mean, there's people that obviously do pass because maybe they can't be helped or they get the help they need beforehand and then they go. Can I ask the aftercare sort of with people once they've gone, the families, that are you still get involved with that as well and help them?
Where we're needed to be.
You do. It's not necessarily support and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We have some people that do keep coming back to us and keep us updated and just want to reach back out to us.
Yeah.
But then equally, for some people, they don't want to kind of go back.
No, of course. Memories and that. Yeah, I get that. So, how have you come so far? Because I can't believe from when you started to where you are now, it's just like a golden moment to see, really.
You have to be relentless, I think.
You do, yeah. You do have to. I mean, from going back to 3.5 years ago, when in the first year we only supported 3 families and I questioned the need of military versus cancer. But as so many people told me, that's 3 families.
Yeah.
You've been all the difference to them. But now, like Shelly saying, 120 families this year so far, it's just grown exponentially.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to keep up with it.
So you've got kind of 2 objectives, really, as a charity. You have to get the money coming in to have the money going out. And to have the money coming in is just a bigger job.
Of course it is.
All the promotional stuff, all the awareness pieces and all of the, the things that you need to do to fundraise, the events that you need to put on, making sure you've got that engagement. That's just as big a job, in terms of hours put in, as the other side of the charity, which is the making the payments and supporting those people that need it.
So since you've been established, how many families have you helped? Roughly.
I wouldn't like to say. I would say over 300, but it is just a figure off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And to think you've got 120 this year already.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's not just the families of the applicants that you're supporting. It's not just those direct people. That net spreads. You're helping relatives of relatives through what you do.
Yeah.
So it's not just directly those people that you're supporting, but it's other people within the family that also are affected by what we do.
Have you faced any obstacles?
Depends how you look at it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sure we have, but it's just how you see it. Do you see it as an obstacle or do you see it as a challenge, I think?
That's probably the best way of putting it.
That's quite a good answer, actually, yeah. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the people that work with you and sort of like the staff and thing. Obviously, you've got people like Graham, who has been a massive help for us anyway, and communication that lot. And you've got trustees obviously that work with you as well.
Yeah.
We've got incredible trustees.
Yeah,
we
really
have.
good
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the trustees, what they're all about, and what they do?
They do so much for us.
Yeah, sure.
In reality, so they're there. The trustees, as everyone is probably aware, are there to support the business knowledge that perhaps Dave and I aren't as experienced in as we should be at this time.
Yeah.
So they can support those areas because they've got years worth of experience. We have a trustee, Carrie, who is the chair, and she goes through all the policies and procedures. They have regular meetings to make sure that what we're doing is moving in the right direction for the charity. They, in conjunction with us, come up with a strategic plan so that we're moving forward in a direction that is meaningful and is going to help us grow. And of course, they're at all our events and they're singing our, the charities.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Exactly, and trying to get other people on board and buy into the charity.
I think all our trustees, all our committee, people like Graham, the people that support us, they are all friends. And Carrie makes it really clear, if you can't be a family member, then this is not for you, because we are all a family member. We are all, again, we've never met each other before, but we've come together for this reason, and it would just fall in place, don't we?
I think as well, from people that I've spoken to that obviously have purchased items from us on the night of the dinners to raise money for you, can't think highly enough of you. And I was talking to Pete Moody, who is a very big supporter of yours. He loves the charity, and he just can't praise you enough about how you do and what you do things. And he said he'll always support you when he can do. And he was just saying to me that he felt that you were in a different class to a lot of other charities. How does that make you feel?
Proud.
I mean, that's high praise from quite a really good friend. Not just a really good friend, but he's a significant businessman as well. So if he can turn around and say that you're actually doing all right, and obviously we're under his guidance as well. He's guided us to where we are now. But I'd like to think that he's just planted some seeds, and letting us grow, and I didn't know Peter had said that. It's quite good.
Yeah, we did set out to be different. We had observed through the fundraising that we were doing how other charities, how they go about their business, and we wanted to be different. So it's good to know that that's perhaps working in the way that we'd hoped and anticipated.
Yeah.
And I think that when you've got people like him and other people we spoke to, I don't know their names, but obviously come to Stan and talks about you and everything you're doing. It's just so nice to hear the fact that you've got people that are recognising of who you are and what you are all about.
Yeah.
And why they are at the events. And you have got some great supporters, and that's without question, you have got that. And it proved that with people who are buying stuff on the night from obviously yourself, from us, for you, etc. How far can you go as a charity? How far do you think you can go?
I actually preferred your first version. It's because again we just all come together and for whatever reason it brings us together.
Yeah. But I just feel that from the moment we met you first time round, it was our first event with you, and then just doing the other events so far, and how far we can see the level of support you've got. I mean, I know you were saying to me that the dinner in Newcastle may not be as good as the other events you've done, like on the ball, but it was still a cracking event. It was such a good night.
Yeah. It
really was. I mean, you've got people like Richard Jones, who for me is a different class of gravy. He loves the charity. Obviously, you put a video online about him coming to perform at the event where we're raising money for you. And he's really excited about it. He's really excited about seeing you again, and it's good. And to see other people in their colours and stuff, it's great. And he said, I've got to make an effort to really, really be there and do something different for the night and raise as much as we can for the charity, which is nice to hear from us as well, from him to us.
Yeah.
Going on to events you've got coming up this year, what would you like to say to people about why they should support the charity and why they should come along to the events if they wanted to?
Come along to the events. And it don't matter what your level is. You might want to throw yourself out of an aircraft with a parachute. You might want to go for a walk with Walking Penny Fan. You might want to get dressed up, so come to the summer ball. You might want to go running, so we've got the Great North Run. You might play golf. We're at Celtic Manor. You might want to play rugby. We're at Castle Park in Doncaster. we're covering all the bases. And the big thing about this is it brings the military personnel that need our help the most all together under the one roof. But not just that, it brings all the supporters together as well, which is not just the armed forces community. It's everyone. Everyone gets involved in these events, and they all really enjoy them. And it's what makes the events. Every event's different. It don't matter where we are or what we do. They're all different.
Being such a small charity, we've got big ambitions, obviously. But being such a small charity, we are still at that point where all of our income streams are from events. Mm-hmm. You know, we have to put a lot of effort into the events that we put on, because that's where our income comes from. Buying tickets, spending money on the night, supporting the raffles, you know, you guys coming along and really supporting us in the way that you are. That enables us to continue. And without it, we genuinely couldn't.
No.
So it's really important that people do support, and it's every event is a really fun time. So, you know, everybody's coming along having a really good time, but the money that's being raised is going to a really good cause at the same time.
And just because an individual can't attend, it don't stop them sharing the information about the event, because the more the events get shared and the more information about military versus cancer, the more people become aware of us. The family we're helping just this morning never heard of us, and they were signposted to us. So the more people that learn about us, the more people we can help.
I mean, hearing all that sort of thing is very emotional to hear that. Obviously, not in the military, but my father passed of cancer, and it was dreadful. And we know what it's all about now, and how it works. And it's tough, obviously.
Yeah, it is.
And no matter what anyone says, it is very upsetting to sort of like see someone going through that situation. And just sort of saying, for you guys, that must be really sort of like, you must have to really have a hard backbone for what you see and what you do, surely.
Well, I would argue no, we don't have to. I think we appreciated it for what it is, and we can understand what people are going through. And I think because of that empathy really allows us to step up, but acknowledge also that it is a difficulty for a family that we're supporting, and it can be very emotionally draining at times, but we are there for each other to talk through those really difficult periods. You know, we're a really big team, or as much as it is at the moment, myself, David, Graham and the trustees. You know, that's enough people there to go, actually, just gone through supporting someone, and it was actually quite a challenge, but you just know that you're helping them and giving them what they need, and I think that is kind of at the forefront of your mind.
What are the volunteers like you've got working for you as well? You've got some good volunteers?
We've got some great volunteers. Do you know what? It was only, and again, Carrie forced me into this. Sorry, Carrie. She forced me into this. So forced me into figuring out just how many volunteers support us, and quickly counting them up when you're taking into account like the field gun pull and all the various events. There was well over 1,000 volunteers in the past 12 months, and it all, and I can picture just about most of them that have helped us all the way through, and without them, well, there is no military versus cancer without them. You know, the three of us couldn't run it. The trustees can't run it.
Those volunteers can go away and talk about us.
Of course.
Go away and feed back to people that may need our support. And that's really important.
And of course, we only learned during the field gun pull that as volunteers, it's not always straightforward. As volunteers are joining us because they've got reasons to join us, not always because of cancer. It's because of what they're going through in their life. And I keep on going about this one individual, the Royal Marine in Wigan, when he said, if it wasn't for this field gun pull today, I wouldn't have had it tomorrow. And you realise that it's not always cancer, it's what's going on in their head sometimes.
I want to talk a little bit about a couple of people that have been big supporters of yours. Chris Box from Hight Media. What a gentleman.
Yeah.
One of the nicest men I've ever met in my life, and I'm not joking. He
can't drink to save his life, but okay.
Absolutely not. And he sent me a text about the weekend as well, just once. I think he's in trouble with his wife, I'm not sure. But I just want to say, for someone that's not military based, the support he's given you guys has been unreal.
Incredible.
Absolutely incredible.
Absolutely.
It's been it's a throwaway line when someone said it's an honour to know someone.
Yeah.
But he is a proper honour to know and work alongside with, and a proper friend. Do you know? It's
and that's what it's that's what it's all about. People say to me, some people say to me, you've got clients, you ain't got friends. I don't agree with that at all, because there's a lot of people that are clients of mine, or the company, my team, that have become friends.
Good.
And they have recognised the fact that what we are trying to achieve as a company, as a new startup, and what we're trying to achieve for others. And I had the same conversation with Lee from Renewbie as well, who obviously been through it himself.
Yeah.
What a guy he is.
I know.
Again, another absolute gentleman who just cannot do enough to help us out. And same as Chris, same as Peter, same as Carrie, same as all the trustees, same as all the supporters. It's not always financial.
No, of course not.
You need that. You need that. Someone to be able to pick up the phone and go, Lee, a few problems here, and just talk it out with someone, and all of them are just ready to listen and just give us their advice.
Yeah, I'm sure there's many. I just wanted to bring up a couple of that I have dealt with that I just have been massive supporters, and they are both coming to the event on the 14th of March.
Lee loved the field gun pull.
Yeah, well, actually, he phoned me and said to me, Jay, I can't talk now, mate. I'm knackered. Give me a week. About that, how intense was that for you? How hard was that for you to do?
Yeah, that was another level.
Yeah.
That was another level. I personally thought I was prepared for the physical challenge, and I mostly was. The mental challenge, completely different. But, when you're seeing people pulling the gun, pushing the gun, and...
I saw the water on the lakes and on the road and everything just going raining.
I was the one that walked around.
Oh, was you? All right. I thought you were. But no, it was for me to see that. I'm thinking, what on earth is going on here? Yeah. This is not a paper bag. It's a proper. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? It turned out, I don't think it was ever planned this way, but it turned out it was, and I think I remember putting something on LinkedIn about this is the closest we can get to kind of showing people what it's like to live with cancer. You're pushing and pulling something that's just immovable. You're in pain. It's on your mind. You can't go to sleep with it. And it's just everything that we did during that 9-week period was all about raising awareness about cancer, military, armed forces, community, and people that take part in support.
And have you had a lot of people stand up and say, crikey, I never knew this existed, this charity, and we want to try and do what we can for them?
Yeah.
Lots.
Some along the way, some along that journey, we had a really positive supporter from the campsite stayed at Dave. Yeah, and he really got on board and got involved in the field gun pull. He lived up in Scotland. He was there right at the very end, wasn't he? He arranged for people to deliver sandwiches to us.
Fantastic.
It was just things like that, and people stopping and having the chat along the way, like, who are you, what are you doing? And just completely unexpected, really.
Yeah.
And the last person I want to speak about as well, Charlie Neve. He is a great man.
He is,
I had a conversation with him and I listened to him, I was in awe. For like 5 minutes he was just talking, I was like, you're an amazing man, Charlie. You are.
He really is,
and he wanted to come to the event, unfortunately I think he's away abroad somewhere for a month with his wife, but he's going to the Formula 1. That's great. It's good for him. I've obviously been supported before, but he is obviously quite high up in what he does as well, isn't he?
He was indeed. He was my old commanding officer on the submarines. Yeah. So, it's we go back quite a long way. So working with him in support of military versus cancer is quite strange for me. It's it took me about 2 years after. Well, it took a year for me to stop calling him sir.
Did it really?
So, for
you used to, aren't you?
15, 20 years I'd called him sir. And then it comes out and it took me a long time to get me.
Did he say, I'm your mate?
Yeah, he tried, but I just couldn't get my head around it. And then one day it just broke.
You can't, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, you watch all these films and that, like, and you think the military, it is regimental.
Yeah, it is.
Of what you're doing and how you have respect for people.
Yeah.
And I just felt that, talking to him made me realise that, that's how life was and is in the military.
Yeah.
So I want to say, fair play to him for what he's doing with you as well, and long may that continue. I'm sure it will.
Absolutely, yes.
Golf Day at Celtic Manor
Yes.
this year. Last year, for me, was great. We had a team with you, which we wanted to do. I know we raised money for the night as well, but we had our guys that I think came third in the Golf Day, which was fantastic. And one of my guys won the outside the front entrance, the big chip thing, whatever it was. He won that because we were so amazed by that. Obviously, they want to come this year, and we will have a team. I believe we will with you. And just the comments that people made about last year's Golf Day. I mean, I know you had a few celebrities there, which is great.
Yeah.
A few footballers and that lot. I know we had a chance to speak to Goffy on the night of that. I think to come as well. Maybe Robbo as well. But what can they expect this year? What's going to be different about it?
So this year it's a military heroes event.
Okay.
We're putting the emphasis on the military personnel. We've got Brian Wood, who won the Military Cross for gallantry.
Fantastic.
There, I believe Billy Billingham is going to be attending as well.
Can't wait to see
Billy,
again.
please.
Richard
Richard
Jones.
Is it?
I
That was news to me, so I don't know yet.
think.
Is that a new
I think we're waiting for him to confirm.
Don't worry about that. I will make sure when I see him, he will come.
But he is very much a military hero, might I
Of course he is. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's all going to be about the military heroes. All going to be about the military personnel.
And is it going to be in the same room as before and that? Or
Exactly the same
Exactly the
format. Exactly the same
Exactly
format. And we're
okay.
just raising all the paperwork for it now. All the sponsorship details.
We'll
and
talk
the
about that.
tickets.
We'll talk about that afterwards. So obviously the Golf Day is one thing, and then you have the summer ball again this year. Where's that going to be held?
Yeah.
Same place? Oh, Lincoln this year.
Lincoln this year.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
During the 1940s weekend. So every year Lincoln has a 1940s event, and Graham has planned it to fall in line with the 1940s event and given it a 1940s theme.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and what can people expect for the event this year?
Richard Jones.
That name keeps coming up, Rich. And he'll be hosting it again for you.
He will be hosting it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, swing band, yeah.
Oh, really?
DJs, yeah. Same kind of format, 3-course meal.
Lovely venue.
It is.
Really.
And how are you promoting this to people that have not been part of military cancer before? How are you going to try and promote that? Sorry, for people to come.
So
Graham.
we are
Bless you,
we
crack.
have,
He become a new companion, didn't he?
I'm up against that. After last night's result, probably.
Yeah, I know.
we have Lincoln Big,
Okay.
who are going to be running our event alongside the promotion of their own kind of Lincoln Big 1940s weekend. So that's
Sure.
an additional arm that we've never had before. Local bases like we would normally do. And actually, I probably ought to add here, we have recruited a new staff member. She starts with us at the beginning of March. She's in Lincoln, military background, knows a lot of businesses and has a lot of contacts in the area. So
Fantastic.
she's going to be really useful.
Yeah, we've got, one of us, actually got quite a few of us committee members that are RAF and based in that area, particularly Ellen. So,
And how many people are expecting this year?
300, I would
Yep.
like to say.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's such a good event. It's the
It was
highlight
amazing.
of our
It was
event
so good.
calendar.
It was so good the last one we did.
Yeah.
And I just think, again, the people that turn up and how they come and they look and what they're wearing,
Yeah.
it's just different class.
Such a good night, isn't it?
Oh, you went for Arilla? Was it not?
No, that's Christmas.
Crikey, sorry.
Yeah, the last summer ball was in Stoke.
That's right.
Yeah.
Stoke-on-Trent. I remember that. That was great. That was, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people were there. So, what does the future hold, really, for you guys?
More work, more events, helping more people. I think ultimately what we are trying to achieve, our ambitions really, over the next, I would say, up to 3 years, and then just moving forward slightly from there, we want a help desk. Because at the minute it is literally David, myself and Graham. Sarah's coming on board at the beginning of March. We want to set up a help desk, all singing, all dancing, telephone calls, chatting online with people to find out what it is they need, having a much more kind of reactive response to people. and building that up, because we think the numbers coming to us are just going to, what we're seeing is a 300% increase every year in people coming to us. So if we're looking at, maybe 500 people next year, it's not possible to deal with that with one staff member, one email.
No, of course it's not.
So upscaling for the help desk, perhaps building more business partnerships through the charity, more events, I would argue, keeping the core events, but building that, getting our name out there a little bit more, and just working closer, I would argue, with the welfare centres on military units to make sure that they are coming to us for advice and support. If they have a serving military member that has been diagnosed with cancer, they can reach out to us and say, we have this serving personnel member, what do we do? How do we fully support them? And then moving forward from there, having packs that we're sending out, going to bases, just growing at a rate that is possible to function in. I think our ambitions are so big, it's easy to get carried away and want to do it all tomorrow. Holding ourselves back, I would argue, has been maybe our biggest challenge.
True.
It looks as though it's very hard work for you guys to do this charity, but you have come through it so far, and I'm sure you do a lot more for everybody who needs the help amazingly well. And I have to say that going back to the gentleman that was at stage 4, to see him stand up and do what he did, for me, had me in bits, because and they say, oh, you can get well, whatever, but it's not the case. They came to you, they got the help they required, and it was just different class. And I think life experiences are what people need to see, and they do see that, and they see obviously the help that's given to you, given to them from you. So we've got the event coming up on the 14th of March with Joe Kazagi, who obviously did a nice little segment online for us to say obviously what we were doing, and including obviously as Richard Jones did as well. I just want to say that we are there for you on that night, and we are there for you on that night.
Thank you.
We've got some, I think we've got the trumpet people coming, I think they're called. What are they called? Thank you, that's it. They're coming. London Fanfare coming. They're coming. We've got 4 of those coming. And we want to we've got the red carpet as well. And we're going to have obviously logos of yourself on there.
Brilliant.
And us as well. And the spot we've got 3 main sponsors on that night as well. And they are all aware of obviously what it is that we're trying to do tonight. And we want to make these people supporters of you continuously. And there are people that are coming from Mansfield, coming from Leeds, Manchester, Scotland, to our event.
Brilliant.
So these are people that can be, hopefully, people that can get involved with what you're doing and make a difference, in some way, shape or form.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's what we're all about on that night. Because at the end of the day, if we don't have the level of support that we need, then there's no point in people even coming. And it's proved that with 170 people on the night.
Yeah.
And it's our first big event.
It's quite incredible.
Yeah, we obviously had a golf day, but this is our first event. And to be able to work with you as our chosen charity for the year is what's important. As far as obviously people trying to support you and get in touch, how can they do that?
I think the best way is via our website, so www.militaryversuscancer.com, and there you can read all about us. You can see what events we've got lined up for the year. You can see who we support and how we go about supporting. You can read an awful lot more about us. You can buy articles of clothing from us, Military versus Cancer branded. But you can read all about us events as much as anything else. So you want to get involved, all the events are listed on there. And we would love to see you, everybody, anyone that wants to attend can attend these events. And we'd love to see you at all our events.
Class.
And how can families who need support get in touch as well?
All via the website. Again, everything is on the website. So anyone that needs support from us, please go to www.militaryversuscancer.com. Have a look at the website and you can contact us through there. Even if you don't know what you want, just put something in the contact form. If it's just your email address with a little detail about what you need, just give us something that we can contact you on.
Yeah,
And then-
essentially what happens, sorry to interrupt, what
Sorry.
happens with that is somebody will fill in a contact us form, that comes through to me. If it's somebody asking for support, I will then send out everything they need to be able to come to us for support. It's
Great
quite
stuff.
very easy.
Well, let's make sure, everybody, that we get in touch. It's important. So, I just want to say, before we finish up, that not only has it been a pleasure to have you here today, or for us to be here with you today, but also the fact that you've made us feel very welcome. And it's been fantastic working with you so far, and I do hope we can do a lot more for you in the future.
Thank you.
We've absolutely loved working with you and hope it continues, and it will continue.
Yeah.
The support that you give us is actually quite incredible. But again, it's just that it's taken that step from being associates to being friends.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And then seeing where everything leads. But we are very much looking forward to this event.
Thank you, I really appreciate that.
And I get to buy a new dress, so that's quite exciting.
I can't buy a new dress. I can't. I've got my girlfriend was Matt. I don't know if you met my partner. Yeah, but she's obviously coming. My mum's coming as well. And for me, it's just
Fantastic.
but she's been a massive supporter of me and what we're doing, and for my company as well, and the team we've got. We've got an amazing team, as you know already.
Yeah.
She'll be there on the night. There's going to be a few surprises there as well, which is I'm not going to talk to you about it right now because you'll see on the night that there's some good surprises on the night. And hopefully we can raise loads of money for the charity. So thank you again for having us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for making the journey up here. Thank you.
From northern cliffs where cold winds bite, at John O'Groats in morning light, they set their sights on distant shore, where Cornwall waits with ocean's roar. Steel and sinew, boots and pride, a field gun harnessed side by side. No engine roars, no wheels will spin, but muscle, grit, and hearts within. Their uniforms are streaked with mud, through rain and heat and crimson blood, of blistered hands and weary feet. They march through storm and summer's heat, by highland glens and valleys deep, where once the ghost of warriors sleep, through cities where the people cheer, and quiet lanes where none appear. They haul the weight of more than steel, the weight of duty raw and real. Each mile a pledge, each step a vow, to honor those not marching now. The wind may howl, the road may bend, but still they press to journey's end. From stone to surf, from start to close, in every step their spirit shows.